Hi, my name is Daniel Uleberry, and I play Theo in the new short film Tangerine Cigarettes.
Hello, my name is Madeline Zachary. I play the character of Bailey in the new film Tangerine Cigarettes.
My name is Henry Graybeal, and I am the writer and director of Tangerine Cigarettes.
My name is Richard Palma, and I co-directed Tangerine Cigarettes.
So the character of Theo really came at a perfect time in my life. As we discussed kind of when we did the podcast episode, which was super fun, we talked about how the character formed, how I formed the character of Theo. And during that time when I got the script and I read it, I was in a very sort of lost part of my life. I felt very sort of empty, very hollow. I felt like I haven't really been successful with film and screenwriting. And when I read the script and read Theo's character, I saw a lot of myself in him. I saw a lot of here's a guy that isn't necessarily sad or anything, but he just feels lost. I tried to put myself in it. I mean, any actor does that. But I think really experiencing what he was experiencing, or at least what I read, was really helpful for bringing the character to life. And it was also very therapeutic as well. It helped me understand myself a lot better in a weird way.
So, the character of Bailey, she has a complicated backstory. She really struggles with perfectionism. That's one of her biggest things. So she's a dancer and she has so many aspirations and she's very hard on herself. That's something that I've also struggled with too. In my normal life, I want to do everything perfect. I want to say the right things and have the perfect looking life. And one of the things that being in Tangerine Cigarettes and being the character of Bailey taught me was, as people, we're not going to be perfect. So, just you need to have grace on yourself as well as other people. So one of the things that I thought was the most interesting was, out of all of the dance takes that we took, we had 13 in total. There's only one where I literally fell, and that was the one that got put into the final cut. And I really think that was interesting because if it had been any of the other ones, then I would have watched the film and thought, good job, Madeline. Good job. I think that was perfect. But I'm not perfect, and Bailey's not perfect. And the moment in that film where, you realize these are two imperfect people having a good, memorable moment together, it's just real life.
Well, I started with the idea of what if these two people met on top of a parking garage and danced together. My main focus was to create a story that was interesting and that people would be entertained by. One of the big things that I really struggled with and definitely spent the most time on was trying to get Theo's dialogue right, because I didn't want him to look like a creep. But yeah, it sort of started as just this idea of what if these two people danced on a parking garage, and then it kind of, at the risk of sounding pretentious, became something a bit more.
Building a relationship with Henry in a co-directing aspect was very different than I thought it was going to be. I've never co-directed before, let alone I've never directed a film written by someone else before. Every film I directed, I either co-wrote or wrote myself. So when Henry approached me about helping him direct this film, I kind of didn't have any experience on directing someone else's writing or directing with someone else. So I was super intrigued, but I loved the idea. From the day he pitched it to me to the day we sat down and he was working on the script with us and everything. And when we got up there, I thought it was going to be difficult because you hear all these horror stories about directors having conflicts between each other, and Henry and I did. There was a few things that we disagreed on, but for the most part, it was super cool because things I never thought of, he brought up. There's things that he didn't think of that I brought up, and ultimately it was cool to see both of our artistic styles in it to bring his ultimate vision alive.
This on set was so fun. I mean, Henry, Richard, like you everybody created such a fun experience because it was the first short film I did at GCU, and it was the first time I've acted in a long time as well. And I was a little nervous because I'm like, oh shoot, all these people know each other already. I don't know how I'm gonna like fit into this environment. But first day of shooting, well, not even first day of shooting really. The table read that we did was just more than enough confirmation where I was like, nah, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna find my people. These guys are awesome. And I was more than correct.
Being on set was like, if you were told one day, okay, you're going to have this dance routine, and you're gonna wear this really cool dress that one of your friends made, and you get to walk into a brand new just friend group, and everybody's very warm and inviting. Like, that's basically what it was. Everybody on set was so passionate.
One of the most difficult aspects of directing Tangerine Cigarettes was probably just figuring out how to shoot everything. Working out lighting and how to practically shoot on top of a parking garage in the middle of the day, or at sunset more specifically. Just figuring out how to break up the shots so that it's chronologically makes sense.
We wanted to do a one take, whether that hurt us or not. No, we wanted to at least attempt it. So when we brought our awesome choreographer Kenzie on, she made our life 10 times easier. And she was such a blessing for not only us, but also for the dancers, because she was very easy to work with. But without a choreographer, a musical can't happen. We definitely pulled a little bit of inspiration from certain movies. For the dance, for example, there's some La La Land references in the dance I'm sure people can pick out. And then another one is the lamppost like singing in the rain. So we pulled inspiration from musicals too. So
I just realized that as a director, if you go on set with the mentality of I'm here to serve everyone else on set, that creates an environment of selflessness amongst the crew and among you, and it makes you better and it makes the crew better, and everyone comes together to tell a story that is bigger than themselves. And that was a challenge to try and figure out, and I wasn't perfect at it the whole time. I definitely had moments where I was only thinking about what I wanted from something, but it taught me a lot about myself and about how I as a leader need to interact with other people.